On this channel, I've shared how to make meat pie in the oven, how to make meat pie with a sandwich toaster. But if you don't have these two appliances, come with me. Let's make meat pie like a student. Contrary to popular belief, this series is not just for students. Students is just a representation of anybody who wants to cook on a budget. So if you want to cook on a budget, if you want quick recipes, you can make onata in no time, you can prepare in no time, this series is for you, because students don't have time. So yeah, if you don't have time either, you can benefit from this series. If you're a beginner when it comes to cooking, you can benefit from this series because I do break it down, don't I? These are all the ingredients you need for this Nigerian meat pie. Don't be scared. They're still within a student's budget, okay? On the left here are all the ingredients you need for the dough, for the crust. Plain flour, that's baking flour, margarine. You need baking powder. But to be honest, I've once made meat pie without baking powder because I forgot to add it and it turned out great. So skip it if that's going to be an issue for you. You need salt and then you need water. Then over here we have the ingredients for the filling. You have ground beef or beef mince or minced beef. In Nigeria, you can buy this from the major big supermarkets. But if you can't buy it close to your school or where you live, you can tell your butcher in the market to do this to the meat for you. Make sure they're using hardwood so that pieces of wood will not enter into the beef. Then you have thyme, vegetable oil. This one is sunflower oil. You need seasoning cube, just one small cube. You need carrot. We're not even going to use all this carrot, but this is the smallest carrot I can find in my fridge. In fact, the quantity of carrot you need for this, the carrot seller can even dash you that quantity of that carrot if you buy something else from the person, I'm telling you. And then you need the smallest Irish potato. This one is actually big. You will see everything. Onions, a small quantity. You need some flour. This flour you use as thickener, and that's water. And for glazing, we need an egg. This egg is very important because this is what will make your Nigerian meat pie look golden when done. And for kitchen utensils, you will need something to cut the meat pie. You use your pot cover. You can even use a plate. You can even use anything that has a sharp edge like this that will give the dough a clean cut. And then you need a brush for rubbing the egg on the dough when you're done. If you don't have a brush, use your fingers, wash it very well and use it. After all, you're not selling this meat pie, you're making it for yourself. And then you need a rolling pin. If you don't have a rolling pin, use a bottle. Find a bottle, that bottle of cashew nut in your room. Any bottle in your room can do. Okay? Now let's start making this. This is the quantity I will use. No, this is meat pie. You don't want the vegetables to overwhelm the meat. Are they equal? Are they? Little bit of water. That's it. Pour a little bit of vegetable oil. We are making the filling now. I guess you know. Let's check if it's hot enough. No sizzle, so it's not hot enough. It's starting to sizzle. You don't want to fry these onions to stupor. You just want it to release a little bit of the flavor and then you add the beef. And then you keep stirring the beef vigorously. You want them to be kili. You don't want it in clumps, so you separate it fast. If it's taking too fast on you, reduce the heat to low. Now that it's pale all over, you can see no red color anymore. Add this, crush it. I didn't want to touch it. You can crush it with your fingers as well. Add this a little bit. Click the like button. Have you? On it, and then you add this. You see the distribution of the carrots and Irish potatoes. Pour a little bit of water, just a little bit, for it to steam, and add it to that immediately. No waste time at all. You're not trying to cook the vegetables. Remember, you will still bake this. And then check for salt. It may not need salt, I tell you, because that seasoning cube is enough. It doesn't need salt for me, but taste it for salt. If yours needs salt, then you can add. And that's it. The filling is ready as quickly as that. You set it aside to cool down completely. You don't want to add it to the dough when it's still piping hot. Then let's prepare the dough. I hope you have this kind of sieve in your home. You must have it. This sieve is very important for a lot of things. Okay. Add salt. Just a little bit of salt. And then you add this, a very small quantity. Like I said, if you don't have this, you can skip it. So all the dry ingredients added. Add it in small lumps. Use this to clean up. And then start rubbing it, mixing it with your fingers. When you're done, it should be yori. If you still have this kind of thing, you're not done, so keep doing that. See? Yori. Then you start adding water bit by bit. I cannot tell you the perfect measurement for this. You just need to follow the process. Just add a little bit, mix it very well. If there are still any stray ones, add a little bit more. One pump at a time. Sometimes you'll be tempted to add water, but don't. You see? Tiny water added. With your bare hands, you see? It forms a lump. If you feel that you're not happy, you can tosa. A few drops. Boom. Okay. Look at that. Then you cover it. Cover it with a plate like this. You can cover it with a plastic film. The reason is that you don't want the top to dry out. And set it aside to rest for 15 minutes. So this is how I rig up my pot oven. This is not just for students. Anybody that does not have an oven can use this to bake a meat pie. You need an old pot. This is an old pot. Never mind that it looks good inside. You see, the hand has fallen out. This place is falling apart. Yeah, it just has one handle. So use an old pot because this is dry heating of your pot. It can destroy your pot. Okay, add some salt. This salt will help reduce the heat, kind of. I don't know how to explain it, but it will cushion the heat. Some people add sand, but I don't like sand and food together. Then I have this thing here. This is a cutter. I put this here as again to elevate because you know, in the oven, for convection to happen, you should have space underneath the oven tray and you should have space above the oven tray. So this is what I'm trying to create here now, and I'm going to place this here. But before I do that, I wrap it with aluminum foil. Okay, and put here. This is where the meat pie will be. Then I'll put this before covering, because one, this has a hole and there are openings here as well, because this thing doesn't lap perfectly. All these are to keep the heat in as much as possible. When you're baking, you want the heat to be in there as much as possible. So to preheat the pot, our oven, you turn on the heat to medium. Cover and start medium heat for about 10 minutes. Prepare the egg. Beat it with a spoon. Yes, I said spoon. As far as I'm concerned, a spoon is better at beating eggs than a fork. You can take that to the bank. See? Then here's our oven tray. Make sure this place is clean. This is the dough we covered. See? So you need it. This dot thing is just the flour. It's breathing. So knead it and that thing will disappear. See? So we are hoping to get 3. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. About 3 of that. So find that. Can you see me? Can you see me? I see that in spite of the fact that I use the least ingredients, this filling is still a lot. You can actually get at least 4 meat pies from this filling. Okay, with the rolling pin, you roll it. If you don't have a rolling pin, use a bottle, a clean bottle. Clean the sides of the bottle. So you're rolling it, you're manipulating it to go into a circle, because this is the pot cover that we're going to use. We don't want any excess. We want to minimize excess as much as possible. Okay. See? That's the tiny one we got out. Remember, don't overfill it. Don't be tempted to add too much. And this, rub it. Like I said, if you don't have this brush, don't worry. Use your fingers, clean fingers. A student has no business having this. And then close it. Press it down. Then use a fork. That's how it will not open up while baking. Okay. And then place that here. See? Look at that. And then apply the eggs. While being careful not to touch the pot because it's very hot. Close it again, and I will not open it again for at least 25 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes. Half an hour later, let's check it. Let's see the under. Actually, see the under. Let's turn it around because it's burning. The edges are burning. Trying to simulate an oven is not easy. This one is cooked meat pie. After 5 minutes, the lolo. You see, it's browning, but it's not even browning. You see, like when you bake it in the oven, it browns evenly. This one has patches, so this place looks like it's still raw. This place looks like it's still raw. This one is burning. Can you see that? So this will show you the differences between oven baked and pot baked. All right. So maybe I should turn it like this to make sure that this top gets done. I don't want to eat raw meat pie before they send me to the students' medical center. I'll bake it for another 5 minutes and take it off. That will be a total of 40 minutes, which is actually the same amount of time that I bake meat pies in my oven. After another 5 minutes, making it a total of 40 minutes, this is what we have. Ta-da! Oh. It's done. It's burning, man. Dorime. You want to chill with the big boys? You're a student. You want to make meat pie? You want to chill with? Let's open this small one first. Woo. It's done. It's yummy. Mm-mm-mm. 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 Mm. 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 This side is crunchy. Like cabin biscuit. Bye-bye. See you soon. Have you liked this video yet?